We are happy to announce Teki as our new tank player for Sentinels.
So officially he's been with us for less than a week. But the trial process was pretty fast as well. We did about 15 scrims, I think. It was like about a week's worth of scrims. We started through, I think we trialed like 6 or so people, something like that. But it was pretty clear right away. Like, we were watching stat lines, of course. We played versus, Kalush, who was our old tank, and compared like stat lines and just everything like that. And it was pretty clear he was on par or even better, if I may say, than other tank players in the region.
I think Crimzo scouted him, and he was like, yo, this guy has like some crazy stats, like we should check this guy out, should give him a trial. And we did, and he like really impressed us.
Honestly, I was just looking at the leaderboard, and I was looking at tank players, and I was looking at their stats, because a lot of players they don't let you kind of watch their games because they kind of private their histories, but I do look at the stats, and so that was definitely a big factor.
He has like no hero shooter team experience, which is crazy, right? Like, all of us have backgrounds in other hero shooters, and he's the first one that I know of in NA that has none of that. But that doesn't mean he's not smart at all. Like, he picks up everything very quickly that we've been showing him, and it's kind of crazy to see him just absorb all that information no problem.
Well, honestly, I wasn't entirely sure what I was looking for or what the team like kind of needed, because I was kind of going back and forth in terms of like what heroes that I might want to play and what kind of second tank we can look to bring in that will help kind of keep our team at a very high level. So when I was looking around, it was mostly just kind of who people are, like where they come from, what's their background, what heroes do they play in ranked, like are they good at those heroes, etc. So it's a pretty extensive list. I think at the end of the day, I'm very confident that we found the correct person to help continue for Sentinels to be a really strong team.
I think Teki is kind of the wild card of NA right now. There was a couple teams looking at him, and obviously he chose to go with us. And I think he's going to be just a crazy wild card that nobody's going to know what he really plays or what he can or can't do. And I think that's going to work in our favor.
For someone who came from Fortnite, it's very surprising that he has no experience from Overwatch. He has none. Yeah, you don't expect a Fortnite player to come into a hero shooter game, kind of pop off. He's like a new sensation that I haven't really seen before. I think he played a little bit on Nightmare, and kind of like how he performs compared to the others. And him being on our team kind of really shows his real potential when he was on when he first tried out.
We haven't really heard too much of him, right? Like, he doesn't have any experience in Overwatch, and he kind of came out of the blue a little bit, and he kind of like really impressed us with his mechanical skill and just like overall like ability to understand the game. And I'm really excited to see like him improve as a player, and I feel like he'd be like a really interesting fit to the team.
He doesn't really have too much kind of team experience, but you can definitely tell that the talent is there. He was playing a lot of games during the season, and I think he can definitely be kind of a breakout star that many people might not know, but they will definitely quickly familiarize with him.
One of the bigger ones is just kind of understanding the flow of the game, right? And then the other one was like mechanical skill, because I think the role that Teki is going to be filling in for is going to be really mechanically demanding in comparison to like the other roles, where it's a lot more valuable for you to understand like your role, and you don't really need to communicate all that much. So like he kind of like really fits in that role really nicely.
Definitely someone who can really carry the weight in like tough situations. Teki kind of has a lot of those times where he just pops off in the middle of the fight or the end of the fight. Sometimes gets a pick in the beginning of fights. He's got the overall winning mentality.
He's definitely has very good mechanics. Like I would definitely say to expect to see some very good individual plays from him. So like maybe canceling an ult or blocking an ult with a shield or something like that. Like I think he's very good at doing that kind of stuff. So I think the fans can definitely look out for that. I think everybody's kind of has the same vibe from him. He's just honestly like a pretty chill guy. He kind of pretty go with the flow, but he definitely has that kind of killer instinct, I'd say, to push his advantage and be very aggressive when he wants to. Yeah, I mean, he's just a pretty chill guy. He's just playing the game, and he's very damn good at it.
I think he brings a lot of mechanical skill, right? He's a really consistent player. And I think the other side is that he's rather flexible in comparison to the other tanks right now. Like, he really picks up new heroes. He's like an absolute grinder, right? So, like, he's always on the game. He's putting in, like, countless hours. And I feel like he's got that, like, edge over some of the other tank players in the scene right now.
Well, honestly, our team is full of yappers. I mean, if you've been in any of our streams, like, we just love to yap. And honestly, Teki is a lot more chilled out and just very, like, he's a good listener, which is what we need, right? Because if everybody's yapping, like, nobody's listening. So yeah, he's really chill. He's doesn't talk too much. He's a little bit quiet, but I'm kind of starting to see the more we play with him, the more we kind of break down his I don't know what you would say, like harder shell. Yeah, we're breaking down the barrier, and he's becoming a little bit silly like the rest of us, which is good.
He's just kind of like a sponge, like in terms of like being able to be very receptive to feedback. As I was saying before, he's kind of a very new player to like the scene and playing in like competitive. So he's very much like a sponge right now. We're trying to help him, like load him up with the information that he needs, but the talent is already there, and that's honestly not really something you can teach, but we can help teach kind of what you need to do in certain moments. We are very excited to welcome Teki onto the team. I think he's going to bring a lot of new type of gameplay to our team to help us stay at the highest level.
Thursday night, we're going to be making our roster debut for Fight Night, and we hope to see you guys there.